So today we are going to make it's a flip card that you can either use vertically or horizontally. And we're going to make this all very much a beachy theme. So you can flip it so it opens this way and then up. And this uses one sheet of paper. And pretty much all we're doing is we're cutting this out and then we're folding pieces. Or you could use the card as a horizontal card. So it would flip this way and this way. Very cool, right? So you take a single sheet of paper. And the first thing you're gonna do is you can either score it, which I'm gonna show you how to score it real fast, or you can just do folds. It's up to you. And then you need a cutter with a nice clean edge. Now, if you don't have a cutter with an edge like that, you could score and then use your scissors. But since I have this amazing, and I changed my blade. I finally changed my blade. It's awesome. So I don't have to worry about having that problem. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to look at the card and go, okay, so I want to fold this like a normal card and look at it in terms of, I have an easier time looking at it if I think of it in terms of, I want to fold it this way, like a vertical card. So normally you would cut this in half and it makes two cards. Today, I'm just going to fold it like this. So you can either just do a straight fold and then just fold. But if you want to score it, you're going to score it at the 4 1/4 mark because that's the size of the card. And you can see it's right there. So then you can take a bone folder or just something and you just run that along that little edge. This is just my sticky picky up tool that I have, my katana. And you just kind of run it right along the edge there. Right where, now there's also little scoring tools you can get for your blade. That works too. You just don't want to push too hard with whatever it is. This is not truly a bone folder. So I'm just being a little careful here. I don't rip my paper. I didn't pull that out. And then you've got to score. And then just come in and then fold that in half. Just like that. Trying to get the nice good fold happening here. And as always, supplies and dimensions will be on the link down below. I've already put the supply links. We're going to pretty much just be using Paper House Productions for all of our papers and stickers. We're just going papers and stickers today, guys. I didn't do a very good job of folding this up, so I'm going to fix this real fast. So I have a link to my Amazon storefront, and those affiliate links basically are just a way for me to get more supplies. It doesn't cost you anything if you just click on it. And if you purchase anything, it doesn't cost you anything more. Not like you have to purchase, but if this is something that you're interested in. And then there's also a link to Paper House Productions where you can find all the other elements. So there's that. Good morning, Veronica. How are you doing? All right, so all we've done so far is we've taken our full sheet of paper and we fold it in half. And for those that just jumped on, we're going to make this card today. I'm really into these little flippy flop cards. I don't know, it's fun. And this one, you can go this way or you can flip it. And we're actually going to do both today. I'm going to show you how to arrange it to make it kind of fun in 2 different directions. So here we have our main fold. And so you can see kind of where we're going now, where the card is. This is the main fold. And I like to fold it back on itself. I like to make a really, really good fold. It also makes all the flaps seem to work better when you do that. So just make yourself a really amazing fold there. You can score it. You can just fold it in half, however you want to do that. You can get a bone folder out, whatever strikes your fancy on that. Next thing we do is we need to cut out this section. So what I tend to do, and I'm just going to kind of show you guys, is I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut. And cards are 5 1/2. This is an A2 size card. If you use a different dimension, then just think about you're going to cut away the section that you're not using. So just to kind of show you, we're making this right here. Apparently I have a froggy in my throat because I feel very, very hoarse right now. So cut down to there. And then we're going to cut along our seam. So you really don't need any kind of fancy equipment beyond your paper trimmer. And you could totally do this with a pair of scissors. So now we've done the cutaway, all right? So here is our card. So yeah, I gotta do this fold. Here's the card. And then this is the piece that's gonna flap down, but I don't want my flap to be the exact same size. So we're gonna cut off a little bit of that. Now this card, what I've done is I've kept the length. I just cut off a tiny bit. I cut off a 1/4 inch. And then I cut off, I believe it was a 1/2 inch on each side. Maybe it was 3/4 inch. Now I can't remember. No, I did a 1/2 inch on each side, and I like that dimension. So we're going to keep that for this card as well. So now you're going to go in and you flip your card this way, and you measure it to be a 1/2 inch, and my blade is still there. Go down a 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and cut over here. That's a 1/2. And I'm just cutting up to that 5.5 mark because that's the length of our card. I'm in a beach mode right now because everything is, it's summer. So now I'm just cutting down that 1/2 inch. If that's a bothersome thing for you, you can totally get out your scissors and cut that. I just have my paper trimmer out. So line it up on that 5.5 mark and then stick it on that 1/2 mark and then cut, which I didn't cut super awesome. So scissors to the rescue. Right here. So I hope everybody's having an amazing day. We only have this week and next week of school left. And unfortunately, next week, I don't know. Actually, I think I can still come live. I'm just cleaning up a little some edges. My kids have their school parties, and my kids are still young enough that they want mommy to come to everything. So I need to look at my schedule. I think we're good enough. We're early enough in the parties. And all I'm doing is I'm just folding this down now, that I'm able to come and do my live earlier. I'm sorry I jumped in a little bit late this morning. It has been a crazy few days. End of year always means that there is ceremonies. Last night was my son's scout thing, and then it was my other son's. I mean, it's crazy, crazy business. So another way you can do a vertical card, and at this point you have to kind of decide, well, which way are my flaps going to go? Do I want my card to open this way and then this way? So that's another option, right? Or do I flip it? And this is where you can have your folds go so many ways. You can have your card go this way and this way, or you can have it be a vertical card. So this one cut, depending on which way you fold everything, you could even have the flap be this way and this way. I mean, so many fun options, right? Or you can have it be a horizontal where you go, oh. So it's kind of a fun, you can go a lot of different ways just by having this one extra flap, and you can decide, is it going to be on the front? Is it going to be on the inside like this? Is going to be on, I mean, just play with it and it gives you lots and lots of options. But nice and sunny here in Canada. Oh, where in Canada are you? I have to ask because that's where I'm from. So I have all kinds of fun with that. Now for this particular card, I want my flap to be shorter. And I went ahead and cut out all my little pieces. This is the flap card. And then save this. Save these little pieces because you might want to use them for borders or something else as time goes along. So I am going to pull out my pieces I'm using for this card. And before I get too involved, I believe this. So this card's going to go like this. We're going to open up. And then I have this piece right here. So I have everything cut. Now I'm trying to remember. No, is this the piece? And this one went here? Yeah. Sorry, I have to think because I'm in all different directions. So, and I want to keep the width. And then there's a little sticker that's going to go on here. So I am pulling out, it's on this page, this sticker. So what I'm going to do, and it's going to go right there. And I'm using stickers because it's just so pretty. And then we have this really cool shaker element that came from Paper House. Look at this. It's already made. Isn't that awesome? And I have 2 of them. There's another one for the other card. But this is the first one, just so you guys can see it. Isn't that awesome? It's already an element. It's so fun. And I've had those stupid things for forever. And so I'm finally getting to use it. Okay, I'm going to add a tiny bit of a indent here. And so I think I'm going to take off 1 inch and see how that looks. I wasn't exactly sure how much I wanted to take off. So we'll go with a little bit liberal, meaning don't want to go crazy. We'll trim that and we'll see. Does that look good? And I didn't want to trim too much because I wanted to show you guys how to build the card. So I couldn't really do that part ahead of time. And the other card is exactly the same, except the trimming I just did, I left this flap bigger on this card. This one I'm doing it smaller because I wanted a smaller element. So the flap is totally, you could make it wider, you can make it narrow, it depends on how much you want to cut down. I think we'll go with that. All right. Now for this, I want to do a little bit of an indent to kind of match that. So I have my pencil, and this is not, I'm having to eyeball. It's not a very good, so here we go. We're going to eyeball 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. It looks like it's about here. It's about right there. It looks like it's half. So we're going to come to there. Totally just eyeballing that because it's not a normal size. I cut it down so that it would look like it was about the same width here, and then it fit with that top piece. And the size of the card is a 4 1/4. So it's not like I'm going 4, 3, 2. It's funny. And then the sticker is not the normal size. It's a funny size too. So just kind of measuring it out. Oh, you're in Saskatchewan. My parents are from Saskatchewan. They're from Regina. I have an aunt and uncle that live in Swift Current. I have a bunch of people that live in PA. I used to live in Regina too. So, woohoo. Where in Saskatchewan? Now I'm curious. Where in Saskatchewan are you? Do you like Saskatchewan? And most people don't even know how to pronounce that. I love that. Woohoo. Okay, so here we have that. So there's this little piece. And I'm trying to decide, I'm going to put the element in the back. I had, oh, there. Nope. Oh, I had everything sitting out. Okay, let's move my blade off the side. And we can go ahead and start building our card, and then I can find all the pieces that I'm missing here. I'm a little scattered-brained. I'm usually not this bad. Oh, I think I had, hang on. Got to be careful about how much I pull off. So I have this piece on the back. The other card had a whole bunch of other pieces. And then I just like this. I just like this breathe in the ocean. And I had it, oh, so I trimmed it up just a tiny bit. You know what? So a little bit's going to show at the bottom, and I think that's totally cool. So do I want to have a little thing and you see a little bit more of the breathe in the ocean? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go with that. So we're going to trim up this a little bit as well. So I like using my blade here, or my trimmer, to decide. It just is an easy flat thing. I can measure it, and then I can make sure I get it nice and even. So I have to count, so I can't talk more. Here it is. And we'll just go up a tiny bit. We won't make it too drastic. Just giving myself that little notch to cut on. And I'm going to use a bigger pair of scissors because I don't want to have to cut twice. I want one even cut all the way in to make this. It's not a fishtail. That would be the other way. I'm making a fishtail on this side. Oh, I cut that bad. Okay, we're going to have to amend that. There. That is just horrible. Horrible cutting. Bad, bad, bad. You're outside Saskatoon. I love it. Yes, I know Saskatchewan. Sorry, I had to read that real fast. I know it was really quiet there for a second, but I had to read that. Most people have no clue what that place is or have any idea how to pronounce it. And it's where my parents are from, so I have a lot of family that are still there. See, now I'm off. I'm not quite the same degree. I need to go higher up. So I can fix my boo-boo a little higher up. So usually I'm much better at doing this. Today I'm not so hot at it. There we go. See if that looks better. Ah, that looks better. It's not exactly the same. Maybe a tiny bit higher. See, always go a little more generous and then you can fix it. And this is what I do. I mean, if I was not live, I would totally edit all this mess out and be like, yeah. But when you're live, I'm not going to redo everything. But I mean, if it got to the point where it really was bad, I would redo the whole card. But we'll work with what we got. But I think this is going to work. I'm sure there's a fancy way of determining if your cuts are going to work. So, but I don't. I eyeball it. There, I like that better. That looks like it kind of goes better. And then this piece, well, we have our craft paper at the bottom here. I just want to make sure everything looks good. And this piece goes in here. And then this, you just kind of see a little bit of a hint down there. Not sure if I'm liking that now. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that that works, that you see this down there? I think it looks funny now. It's the only other way I could do that. But then I want this to look like it works in this page. So I could just cut this and have the breathe in the ocean, not have the top and the bottom, and have it very small. Oh, let me line this up. This is how I do my cards. I have an idea, and then I start putting things together. And then as the card goes together, and this could go for scrapbook layouts, this could go for any project, I will amend it. I know I want the craft on the background, and why I picked craft is because it looks like the beach. It looks like the sand. You know, it's kind of that, or like, you know, a piece of wood that's been tumbled. It's got that vibe to it. And it fit with all the colors. And that's the other thing. If you're unsure of another color to work with when you've got lots of colors, you can't match a cardstock perfectly. And that was another problem. Go with craft, white and black. Those are like the easiest ones, the most neutral colors out there that you can work with. So somebody wrote something. I'm going to hit show, and they said they always cut a slit up from the middle and then cut from each corner to the middle slits. I don't trust myself any other way. That's true. You could do it that way. Yeah. So that works. So you guys like the little peekaboo? So now I can stick this in here. The other thing is I can anchor this up at the top, but then you still see it. To me, I'm fighting it. I'm fighting that little bit. Oh, but I have an idea. Okay. We're going to do yep. Okay, we're going to trim that off. We're going to trim off this last, it looks like it's got sections here. So I'm just trimming off this last little color right here. I know some of you like the peekaboo, but my card. And to me, it's like, it's not enough to make it worthwhile. And so now if I butt this up to the top, I put this here. So there we go. And now I have this bottom section. So the bottom section, whatever I add, as long as I don't go, I think if I stay down here and I have a thought, because I'm doing it later in the card. So we're just using paper. And I'm going to have to come back to that bottom section. It's these little strips, and I don't want to use up a strip that I want to use for the front. So I was thinking that I would just add like a little strip down here, and then we're going to be adding some more sequins, and I have some flat sequins in here. They're not what I would call the faceted ones where they're cupped. There's some flat ones in here, and I can have some fun and add some little sequins into this mess here. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to come back and add that towards the end of the card. So that's that. And maybe add a couple little sequins into here so it ties it together, and then you open it up and you just have some fun design at the bottom. So that will work. All right, so on the top side, I have the little starfish, and now I don't think that's going to fit. I don't think that's going to work because I'd have to cut too much of this, and there's no good place to cut that. So we have to come up with a plan B of what the starfish are going to be, but I'm going to wait because I want to use up all the other elements that I have first and then come back, and so I don't use something that I meant to use somewhere else. That's my thoughts, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so on the front, let's go back to the front. Oh, we have this piece, sorry. So now we have this piece here. We're going to do a linear, and then there is a really cool, these little sand dollars. We're going to line this and then just add a couple elements. Go ahead and tape this down. So on the inside of the cards, then it's just a matter of, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but with a card that flips, look at all the fun dimensions and places you can put stuff, right? You could totally leave this blank. You wouldn't have to do anything, and maybe I'll give a relief here. It's good because you have more places to work. You already have all the supplies out that you're working with to make this card. So it's not too hard to come up with another thing, but it's one more design you have to think about. It's not just the front and then a sentiment on the inside. You do have to think every single flap, every single element, but it gets more use out of your supplies too. So that's kind of a fun thing. And could this totally be like a little mini album? Yep. You could put pictures in here. You could have all kinds of fun. So there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do. Sorry, I have my little pieces. I don't know why I have pearls there. So now I've got that, and then I can add just a little fun sentiment. So what are we going to do? I like the anchors. Love anchors the soul. Or the list is the life. It's going to be the brown on the brown. I'm not going to like that. I did cut one thing earlier, and I was kind of playing around with it, and it says escape, and I put it on that. Do you guys like that? I'm not sure. What are you guys thinking? Or I could do, and I'll do this. I'll pull out a sticker and lay it there. I just want this one to be simple. And then I can add some of the sequins to this side too. That's the other fun thing. That looks a little too flat. No, it needs to go more horizontal. It needs to go kind of horizontal. So maybe I mean, I made this thing. I just pulled the escape from, it was, I thought it was in here. Yeah, it was from right there. It was staring me in the face. I could also do Embrace the Day. That would be a fun one. I don't know. If you have an opinion, for now, I'll leave that there because I'm not really sure what I want to do. You like the escape? Let's go with the escape. But I think I'm going to add a little bit of some, is there black on here? I'm not really using black. So I'm going to add, no, I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it clean. I was going to add like an element where I like stitched around it, but I think it's going to look funny with the P. So we'll just leave it. We'll go with the escape. And you want to have everything to be kind of as flat, oh, that's crooked, as flat as possible, because otherwise your card will not lay flat. But that's a pretty flat card so far. I mean, it's laying as awesome as possible. All right, next thing is I'm going to put a big craft on the front of this card. And I went for a very small border because my little shaker element that we're going to add to the front here, I just think this is so cool. It's so much fun. And it says at the beach. And there's two of them. The other one, as we're going to do this card in a minute, is the anchor. Isn't that fun? So really, really cool. And like these are all paper house stickers that we're working with. The papers, we're going to be doing more of the papers, like the starfish I showed you. They all came from them. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this down. Makes for fun and easy cards when you don't have to worry about getting stamps. Not that I don't love stamps and coloring and all that mess. It's just, you know, it's something different. It's playing with paper. To me, this is more like scrapbooking card making, which is kind of fun. You know, it's that element. And then here, there's that at the beach. And then you just stick it down. How hard is this? So easy. So stinking easy. And then I wanted to lay this a little bit higher. And it gives it a really cool front element. And then shaky, shaky card. It's like the super fast, easiest card ever in terms of the shaker. I didn't have to build it. It was done. It's awesome. And there's more than one variety of the beach elements. There's a couple other ones that are out there that Paper House made. They're not new, so I had to kind of hunt for them. I just thought they were so much fun. And for people that love the idea of creating cards but don't want to do the whole thing themselves, it's perfect. So easy and fast. All right, so now I have my little strips. And so I was thinking about doing, I just wanted to add some strips because it looks so plain. So here I'm going to have just a white strip, brings that little pop of white. That one's too short. I just cut a whole bunch. That one's too short. Why are they short? I cut them from the same sheet of paper. At least I thought I did. Must have grabbed another random one. So there we go. And then I thought I'd do a bigger, oh, and that one's too long. I feel like Goldilocks, just right. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna put the skinny one on top and then the thicker one on the bottom. And we'll do that. Just kind of linears it up, or just top and bottom. Is that too, or the thicker one on the bottom? I don't know. What are you guys thinking? I'm not sure. Here we go. You know, I'm liking the strips. Just thinking, it's funny. I look here and then I look on the screen and I'm like, is that too much? But you know, I'm kind of liking that. So we'll go with that. So let's go ahead and run these through, because to try and get a tape runner on that, it'd just be a nightmare. I'm just getting the first one started. I always get one in there, get the first one started, and then kind of pull. And get these in there as straight as possible, because if they start going on an angle, like that one did, they fold over and get a mess. But I love doing this for like little tips. Just makes life so much easier with my Xyron. All right, so I had this guy. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. How many people saw that? How many of you saw that? You know, I actually kind of like that one better because it's not so thick. We'll just trim it off. And I'll have to run that last one. You know, I don't want to waste a whole Xyron strip for that. So we'll use our glue for that last one. I am a little stingy on about how much I use. You know, if I'm going to put 3 of them through, I'll use it. But if I only have to put 1 through, I'm like, that's a lot of Xyron that's being wasted, the sticker part. So I don't want to do that. So we'll sticker up the last one, and I'll just leave that last one on there because I might use it for somewhere else in my card. So I hope everybody is having an amazing day. We are totally getting hot here in Texas, which is where I live, obviously. And it is getting, I always go back to weather because, you know, it affects everything around us. If it's sunny and nice, which is beautiful and sunny and nice, windy, then you would tend to feel chipper and happy. If it's gloomy and yucky outside, you're like, meh. I always feel so much more tired when it's a rainy day. So you could also use like a nice little wet glue to glue that down. And then I wanted to add, because there's already like some cool shaker bits, I wanted to add, I couldn't find the same turquoise, but we have some other colors. So I have these little pieces, and I only can use these on the front of the card. So there's really, really cool pieces. I think they're meant to go inside of a shaker card, but I just think they're fun. And then I have some sequins. And so I'm only going to be using the white and the silver. It's a little bit of a different color silver, but that's fine. So I want to just kind of lay them out first because I'm not exactly sure how I want to run this. So I'm going to add, it's kind of a darker silver, some of these. So just a little silver. And I know I want to add some of these guys too because I just think they're fun. And do I go super linear with this, or do I make them scattered is the next question. But I think I'm going to come back to adding all these at the end and do all my sequins kind of at the end, because otherwise it's going to make it sticky. And then I can do both cards at the same time. But you get the idea of where that's going for those people that may have to leave earlier. All right, so oops, one little gem left behind. I haven't quite decided if I want to make those super linear or if I want to make them scattered. I might just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and kind of go a little more linear with that because there's so much scattered happening here. All right, so then we have our escape, and I think we'll add some there. And then we have this. So now we're pretty much the end. I think I'm going to leave a relief on the inside here. So to keep with the lines, because we got lines, guess what? I have my strip, which is not being wasted. We're going to add our line in here. And is it the right size? Almost. So close, so close. So close. I don't know why I have to sing that, but I do. So I'm just trying to get in and give myself the most perfect line here with my scissors. Oh, I did it wrong. I angled it. Can you guys see it? Can you tell? I would totally pull that up and redo it if I wasn't live, but I don't want to waste you guys' time cutting a little strip. And you get the idea. All right, so that is our first card. And look, it still lays nice and flat. The front shaker bit actually pulls everything down, so it's kind of nice. Now we're going to move on to our second card. And this time we're going to make it go sideways. So same format. Let me move these little guys off the side. Same format. So again, just to show people that just got here, the card can go multiple ways. The first card, whoops. There we go. See, and you can flip it around all you want before you start gluing stuff down. The card we just did, we went this way and then this way, right? But you could also do a card where you flip up and this way. You could also do the card where it's, hang on, where you flip up and then open, right? So that's all vertical ways that you could do it. Now you can go horizontal. You can go this way and this way, which is fun. Or you can do what we're going to be doing, which is, oh, you could go this way and then this way, but we're going to actually go, there we go, this way and then this way. So look, it's like, I don't know, the never-ending folding card. You can do it so many different ways, and it's just really fun. Good morning, everybody who just jumped on. I'm sorry I haven't said hi to a whole lot of other people. I see Ada, I see Joan, I see Judy, Veronica, Cheryl. Hi, everybody. Darlene. Hello, everybody. All right, so here we have this card. Now, my front is going to be the same thing. Now, for this particular card, I didn't like the craft as the background as much because it just didn't pop as well. I like the white on this, mostly because it had like this little bit of some blue, and with the craft, it got completely lost. So I played around with what was that, and here you can see it's just on this kind of a lighter craft. I liked the white a ton better, but I'm going to build the front last because I don't want to smash it as I'm adding elements everywhere else. So that's going to go there. And then I did like the strips. And this one, I'm just going to do 2 vertical strips off to the side, just like this, just to kind of basically anchor it. Haha, get it? Anchor. But So, so I'm just doing 2 strips. That one I went a little bit, and I'm centering this right smack in the middle because putting it off to the side looked funny horizontally. So I do tend to look at cards differently based on if they're vertical or horizontal and how I like to center. For this card, I don't like the idea of centering this right smack in the middle. It looks too centered. And so that's why I would either push it up or I would push it down. And then I would balance it by adding the elements on either way. All right, so the front will come back because I don't want to smash. And then we have our elements. And for this, I'm going super simple. I just loved there's a cardstock. Where's my paper? This is where a lot of the papers came from. So this is the At the Beach collection. I totally pulled out scrapbook paper, and they have these ones where they're cut out pieces, and that's where I got the Breathe in the Ocean, and I got some of the background, like we're going to use a sand paper. So I pulled that out. You know, I just cut stuff. We're actually going to be making a little a beach scene or an ocean scene here in a second. So I just cut them up to fit on my card. Like I said, I'm kind of making this almost like it's a little scrapbook page in a card. And it's perfect for the summer because, you know, you think of the beach and the sun and the pool and everything, at least I do. It's getting so hot. So I tend to very much create, look how fun, and I like the rope just kind of hanging out in the background there. I tend to create a lot. This is a super fast card. Based on how I'm feeling. So as the weather changes, I'll change what I'm creating, which is really hard sometimes for me when I have to create something so far in advance for companies. Like, we need you to make something for Christmas now. I'm like, I'm not in Christmas mode. Or Halloween, that's a hard one to try and do now. I do it, but I don't feel like I'm in the vibe. I'm like, I want to make beach. I want to make sun. I want to make, you know, the colors also change too, right? All right, so far pretty easy. We're gonna add a sticker to that in a minute. I'm just putting all my papers down. And this was one of the papers that came and look, it's like this water scene. I cut out quite a bit from it. There was 2 I was playing with. There was this one that had, and there was water on the side. And then there was this one that had more water, and that's where I grabbed that from. So it's almost like it's a real scene happening. And who's to say you can't put real elements in a card? Meaning, why can't you put a picture in a card? That would be totally fun. But again, this could completely be a little scrapbook or a mini book that you could do from a vacation. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my little sailboat. And I played with this earlier, which is why it's already kind of loose. So we're going to make our little sailboat sail out in the ocean. Just have them out there doing its thing. And then we're going to I have to play with this because I want to like, I think that's so funny. So for people that sail, I have to rearrange this so it makes sense. I'm going to go up a little bit. I like the cut of your jib. So for those people that sail, the jib is a portion of the sailboat. And here we'll have to put this down a little bit more. So just something kind of fun. There we go. See, look how easy that is, just using those elements. I didn't have to really create too much. I could totally do another scene where I built it like I did in this card, where we're building something or I'm cutting elements out, or you can leave it whole. And then for this, I'm doing another one, some of the same elements. So I'm using 2 different sticker sheets. This came with the paper pack, and then this is like an accessory destinations pack that you can get. And if you notice, some of the stickers the same, but I like the bigger one on here. So we're going to use that. And I know these are meant for scrapbooking, but you know what? Why can't they be used for card making? And I'm going to center this, The Beach is Calling, on this piece. I'm not centering it to the card. I'm centering it to the flap, because to me, that just makes more sense. And then here we go. Oops. Ta-da. See? Really fun and easy. Now we are going to add our shaker element to the front. Of which, for those people that do scrapbook or you do other things, junk journals, these little shaker cards and stuff would look super cute on that too. That's a fun element in there. Just coming in and centering this here. There we go. I should have run these through when I did the other ones. I'm so silly. So we're just going to use glue. And glue this down. So do any of you go to the beach in the summer? Or any time of the year? And if you go to the beach, is there a type of beach that you like better? Because there's different types of beaches. There's like rocky beaches, there's sandy beaches, there's pebbly beaches. It all depends on where you go. If you go in the Caribbean and stuff, it's like the super sandy. The best beach I went to, well, not the best, but I've been to a lot of beaches in my lifetime. I've traveled a ton, but the most fun in terms of different, it was Bermuda. I've been to Bermuda. They have pink sand. Isn't that neat? Pink sand. I just think that's so cool. I actually brought some home. Ooh, and I didn't center those quite right, or I didn't center my, I got to look at it this way. This is the reason why using wet glue can be nice. I think I'm off here. So before this sets, I have a little bit of wiggle room with all the glues, even the wet adhesive. I gotta think, I don't want to wiggle and move before it fully gets set down. And then if I tried to move it after that, I would just rip the paper. And I don't want to do that because I've already laid all my other pieces onto this. So I think I like pebbly beaches a little bit better, like a rocky pebbly beach, because I mean, I like sitting in the sand, but I'm more of a, I like to walk on the beach and go find stuff and hunt. And, you know, it gives me a focus. And so there's more animals that you can look at just on the beach itself, or just in like little tide pools. To me, that's more interesting than just sand. And then sand gets everywhere. Pebbles, you can remove a pebble. Sand gets into all the little crevices and blah. So, but on a sandy beach, you can find more seashells. So that's, you know, whatever. It kind of goes both ways. All right. So here is our first card. And I'm going to call this one done. We're making it very, very simple. And look, the weight of this is so super, it's not that heavy. You could still put this into an envelope. You probably have to put a little bit more postage because of this piece right here. But if you did a flat front, there is nothing about this that you would not be able to mail, I don't think. All right, so now we have our front card. We're done with all of our stickers. Now we get to play with our sequins. All right, so I think I'm going to do what I said before. I'm going to do the 3, 3, and 3, but I'm going to go 3, 3, and 3 and kind of line them up. 1, 2, 3. And where's my katana? Here it is. And I'm going to play around with doing some of the these guys. And then I'm going to do a sequin. And I can do a faceted sequin on the front. What color do I want to do here? I don't have a whole lot of the facets that are small, so I'll change it up. Do that, and then I'll do another. Maybe I'll do a large little bead. That looks pretty. This needs to be spaced out more. They're too squishy. This is where wet glue has its moments, because you don't have to worry about, you know, it being. You can move it. That's what this side is for. But I moved it too much. Now there's no glue underneath it. Some people like tweezers. I found that this little tool is kind of very, very handy when it wants to work, because now it spins. There it goes. It's stuck. The glue is starting to do its job already. So sometimes you can have fun and you can layer these up using different elements. Like I've obviously used a couple of different elements. If you wanted to be super matchy, you could match in with the colors that are already on the shaker card. That would work too. And that is not lined up where I want it. Okay, those are those 3. Now let's pull in. Like I want to pull in some of these cards, but it's going to fight with the teal on there. I think on the inside, I can start using the darker. No, I can't use the darker colors because they're too 3-dimensional. But I can use some of the darker things. So we'll have fun with that. Now we're going to go 3 here. All right. They're all upside down. I can't see them. This little set that I'm working with. Ooh, would this work? Would these colors look good? Ooh, that looks like it matches. We'll use some of those. So this little set right here, all these things that came from Pretty Pink Posh, and it was their C collection. I think it's called the C collection. So that was kind of fun. And maybe we'll add a small, I don't have very many small ones. Maybe pull some more out. There's a whole bunch in here. I just don't want to dump everything out. So I'm going to put it all back in. I'm still working on a best way to try and store all of my sequins and stuff. I like them when they're in kits because it gives me a variety. I'm like, oh, that's a color scheme that works. Let's see. There's only one color. There's only one size of this one color that I have. It's kind of big. It's okay. We'll do another big one then. So it's the only one on that side. And I still squished them really close together. There we go. Space them out a bit. Which means I'm going to move my glue over. Which means I'm going to have some glue that's going to be not sticking to anything else. It's okay. Oh, they're big enough. It'll work. Oh, no. Still too close. You have to eyeball this. I wish I could say that you could. I mean, I guess you could measure it, but I'm much better about eyeballing things that are on my cards. I like that. And then, should I does it need a third? Well, let's lay it out and see if we like it. And maybe one. I'm looking at the colors. Maybe I'll just do the little. Here we go. How's that? Whoops, it's flipped upside down. I can't use my katana because if I try and lay it down on here, then it's gonna, no, it needs to be the same size. That size looks funny. Or I do the same color. We do that because I've already, maybe, oh, I did, 3 silver, alternate colors. So I'll do the 3 blue down here. Yeah, blue going to go with it. They're jumping around because they have nothing to stick to. So it's like, oh, it doesn't know what to do. Where's it? Oh, I can't find my glue. It's hiding. There it is. Okay, here we go. They're here. Ah! Push too hard. This glue takes about 5 or 6 minutes to set, and then it'll be ready to go. Maybe not even. Flip over, you little stinker. It's stuck to my finger now. The downside to working with these little guys is that they're kind of a pain in the butt to work with because they're so tiny, but they look pretty when they're on. They're just kind of a pain that took us to work with. So there we go. Pretty little something kind of adding to what's already there. So you have a place in Florida. It's not the Gulf, in the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, you don't get to go out there very often? Ah. Yeah, beach houses are hard because you always feel like you have to kind of mess with them a little bit, which is kind of a pain. All right, so I do have some flat ones. It's the blacks. I'm looking at all my little sequins here. The faceted ones, I wonder how much it would affect it. So if I put one here, how much does it affect? Oh, it doesn't. Ah, totally can do faceted ones. Yes. Okay, and now I can play a little bit more, but I'm not going to do these little pokey ones because they're just too much. So I think I'm going to stick with my linearness and do 3 linear down here. Or maybe I'll do a whole, I'll do a whole row. I like that idea. And I think I'm going to make them all big. I didn't space that too very well, but I love this dark color. I think it kind of mimics in with some of the foil. It's not the perfect same foil, but I don't want also this card to be 100% matchy-matchy. Or maybe I'll do 3, and then I can do 2 of the other silver to bring in the other silver. There. And now it gives a little something down here at the bottom. And it still works with this card as well. So I could have raised this up a tiny, tiny bit and it would lined up because right now it's kind of there's a big space, but it's okay. It works. Now I'm just going to, whoa, flying glue. I'm going to add a couple of elements just right in here. Just kind of spitballing. See how that works. I have to find my little glue spots that I'm sticking them down onto. I can, I don't want, yeah, I can do a white. I can do a white because it's on the craft and you can see it. I can't do it on the other side because you're never going to see it. I got to flip these. Do you guys have, I mean, this is just maybe me. There's 2 sides to a faceted sequin. There's the cup side and there's the flat side. I always want to put them so that they're the upside, upwards. And I don't like it the other way around. It bugs me. I don't know why. It's just something. We'll go with a little guy here. Oh, needs one more. Right there. And there's a really big white disc. We're going to use that. So do you guys have a preference? No, I don't like the big white disc. Yuck, yuck, yuck. We'll go with a little small white one again. There we go. Yeah, that works. I'm fiddling now. And then do I want to add anything to here? You know what? There's enough going on. I think if I add too much, it's going to make it too much. So we're just going to leave it. And I think I'm just going to leave this as a relief. So there we go. That's our cards. Fun little elements on the front. Shaker. So let's look back and see what we got. Full shaker card. See how fast they were? So much fun. First card. Here we go. And just using some of the elements in our little scene. Here we go. Stickers and paper. Stickers and paper, people. And then here we're adding a little bit more glitz. I mean, this already has the glitz in the front, but we added some more elements to this. This one's popping up for some reason. And then we open it up and we have kind of like a little mini scrapbook layout here happening. And then we have some just elements happening. Very simple. If you wanted to like line these, add like a dot element, but I don't want to do too much. I want it to make it feel like it's just easy and simple and elegant. And this one card, how you ever fold it, it could go so many different directions. And I will be putting the measurements up there momentarily. I got to finish measuring and throw everything up there, but I'm probably just going to do it for this main card and not give you the fishtail elements. And I'm not going to give you any of the mats because you might change the size of this. And this is just a standard size mat, which I'll give you that because it's just a standard size card. That's not, but I'll give you the cut measurements and so forth for the 1/2 inch that I put on there. And that is it. Super fun. Beachy time. What is the sequin pack you used inside your shakers? Oh, I didn't make the shakers. The shakers are already made. And that's the cool thing. It was like this element that is already in there. So it's done. And it came from Paper House. The 2 of these came together as a set. So all I had to do was stick them down. You can't get any easier than that. And so the link is, I found it on Amazon. It is an older set and they have some different ones. I still misaligned this guy. I don't know if I can fix this now. But see, I'm picking the whole thing up. So yeah, I didn't make the shaker card element itself. It was something that was already done, which makes shaker cards so easy. But there are 3 colors in there. There's a silver, and then there's that turquoise, and then there's a clear. But they're just so fun. I just love them. And there was other, like I said, these beachy, but then there's some non-beachy ones as well. So there we go. The other sequin pack I got from a company called Love from Lizzie. And then these little guys here, it came from Pretty Pink Posh. And I'll put all the links down below for you guys. But hope that answers your question. Oh, you like using the cup side too of the little, yeah. I don't know, something about flipping it the other way around. It looks funny to me. I don't know. It's just weird. But there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed my beachy themed cards. They're so much fun because you can flip, flip. And you don't have to worry about getting out stamps if you don't want to. You could totally stamp this. I mean, once you have the design of the card, and then you can go out and have some fun. But I've been sitting with these little shaker elements for the past, I want to say 2 years now. And I was digging through my stuff and I found, I'm like, I have to make these. The timing was perfect. And so I started building the cards, and then I found the paper packs that kind of go, and the colors worked, and everything just kind of fell into place. And that's how they manifested. There you go. Pretty cool, right? I love it. All right, don't forget to please come back next week. It may not be live. It depends. I have to look at my schedule to see if there's enough time before I have to go to my kids' end of year parties, of which they totally beg me to come every year. So I can't say no, because eventually they'll be saying, no, Mom, don't come. So while they say yes, I go. And so I might have to do a recorded video. I will look at the time to see if there's enough time to budget for that. And then this summer, as the summer goes along for our Wednesday lives, it depends on what is happening. I know I have some guests and I'll be, going out of town a little bit. So it's going to be a mixture of some lives and also some recorded stuff. And also, before you guys go, there is a giant, it's the Save the Crafty YouTuber Hop. It's huge. There is prizes from a plethora. I think there's over 50 different prizes. It is going live on, and I have to look it up because I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm so sorry. I thought I had the screen right there for me, but it's not. All right, it's going live on May 27th in the morning, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time, so 8 a.m. Central time. And there is, I want to say, about 30 of us. We each have videos. They're all pre-recorded. You just jump from one to the other. You can pick it up at any point. So my video, you can pick up from me, and then you can hop, and it goes like in a big loop. We also will have a list and a playlist where you can sit there and watch all of them. And it's just kind of anything. It's all card making related. So it's all kind of fitting in this vibe. There's some pretty cute cards I made, I have to tell you. It's still very beachy, under the sea vibe. So come back and check that out because it is so much fun. And there's a ton of prizes, and all you have to do is leave a comment. So there's prizes from Simon's Stamp and scrapbook.com and Lawn Fawn and just a whole bunch of different companies. And a lot of them are gift cards, which I think are really cool because then you get to go pick what you want to have, which is awesome. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe. Pass this along to your friends. They can find my channel. That'd be great. And hit that bell button so you get notifications of when I have new videos coming up. And I will see you guys again later. Bye-bye, everybody.